Hi everybody, this is Em from DIY and today, as you can see from the label here, we're doing sore muscle salve. I have to clarify, I am not a doctor, I am not somebody who is in the health industry, so I did get this specific recipe from a blog. I did sort of tweak it a little bit myself because I did a lot of research on this, so it has been tweaked a little bit, but it's not tweaked too much, and I will most likely link the blog below so you can check that out. My instructions are very similar. Hopefully you guys will be able to check that out if you want to make something like this, but also hopefully you can get some good advice in this sort of video. But yeah, we've done lots of interesting beauty stuff, but we haven't really done a ton of health stuff, I guess. I mean, we did sort of with the massage oils, I guess, but I feel like this kind of goes into more of a health territory. So anyways, I found that this was a really interesting project, and I got to break out some stuff that I haven't used yet. So I got some presents in the past. I'm going to talk about it in this video, but I've got some presents in the past for making candles, and I ended up using some of the wax for that. But yeah, and we're labeling things, basically showing you the makes. Also talking about the reactions of the salve. Hopefully that helps somebody out there. But yeah, you're hopefully going to get a lot of information out of this if you're interested in making sore muscle salves that are more natural, I guess. Okay, on to the video. Okay, for this project, you'll most likely need some beeswax. If you are vegan and you don't like the idea of beeswax, there's also a vegan alternative. So you can get, I think it's called Candelilla wax or Carnauba wax. Sorry, I'm probably butchering that. I will try to put the spelling above here and also down below so you guys can check that out if you'd like. So you're basically going to need that. You also might need a carrier oil. I finally caved and got some coconut oil. So this one's organic and virgin coconut oil. It's supposed to have non-GMOs. And it's cold pressed and unrefined. I'm gonna do that. I also got some cayenne powder. So this might be a really good thing to help soothe aches and pains. And so you can get ginger powder. I'm gonna use the ginger powder, or you can use turmeric powder. So turmeric powder is probably a good idea to have in here. However, I'm not using it mainly because it can stain skin. If I'm going to test this out, my skin might be a little too light. It'll probably stain it in some way, shape, or form. So I'm going to skip the turmeric powder, even though I really love it. I think it's great for your body. I like to consume it for aches and pains, but yeah, something like a topical treatment. I'm going to try to have some ginger in there instead. I bought this for essential oils. I could have probably just bought stuff on its own, but I found this at the Shoppers Drug Mart. This was actually probably the cheapest of all the different essential oils they had. So it has a nice 3-pack here. I think it was around 25 bucks along there, and that's in Canada. So I kind of got it mainly for the eucalyptus essential oil, but you could definitely use different types of essential oils. You could definitely use stuff like peppermint and all sorts of other things. That's always a nice alternative as well. But I'm going to try to do the eucalyptus. Again, you can research what you think is going to be best. I will try to put the website down below too that I got a lot of this information from, because this is not my recipe. I'm tweaking it slightly, but it's not my recipe. I'm mostly going off of this recipe from, I think it's called nakura.com. So again, I'm going to link that down below for you guys, okay? So you can check that out. But yeah, I have these guys, and then you'll probably want some sort of heat safe bowl, so you can do a metal bowl or a glass bowl. I don't have a glass bowl. I do have a metal one, or you can use a glass measuring cup as long as it's heat safe. This one I'm not too sure. This one's not dishwasher safe, microwave safe, so I think I got this from the dollar store, so I'm kind of worried about putting this for a double boiler system. But yeah, you can definitely use metal or glass as long as it's heat safe for a double boiler system. Another thing you can potentially get is something like this. So I ended up getting my beeswax as a present from my brother. I asked him for beeswax and a candle making kit. I'm trying to remember, maybe the beeswax was separate because it was a long time ago that I got this, and I never actually ended up making any candles with it. I've got a couple bags of that beeswax. So the kit came with this metal measuring cup pourer thing. So we'll try doing this because I think it's a little bit easier to get something that has a little bit of a spout. It's easier to pour the mixture. If you do the bowl, you can definitely do that, but you'd have to be really careful with pouring it because it doesn't really have an actual spout like this. Then obviously you're gonna need a pot or a saucepan for the double boiling, and then you're going to fill that with about a couple inches of water just so you can do the double boiling system. I also got these metal tin. These are actually for candles as far as I know. So I'm going to wash a couple of these because I'm probably going to have some overflow. So I'll probably wash, I don't know, 3 or 4 or something of these guys just to see how much overflow I have. I got these guys because I feel like they're a good size size to fit in a basket or box. You can definitely do a glass jar. However, I wanted this to be easily transported without breaking, so that's why I went for the tin version. But you can definitely use other ingredients for this. I've seen stuff like people using shea butter as well as maybe a little bit of wax, like half and half combinations. As I said, you can research the different types of essential oils. You can use turmeric instead of ginger, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I basically just wanted to show you what I have. So I have the ingredients laid out here and measured them out. So you're gonna need a 1/4 cup of beeswax, half of a cup of coconut oil, 2 teaspoons of ginger or turmeric, and 2 teaspoons of the cayenne pepper. And then once all this stuff is heated as a mixture, then you're gonna have to add the essential oils of your choice. If you're mixing 2 scents, you might want to do 15 drops of each. I'm gonna do 20 to 30 drops of just this eucalyptus oil, so you can do whatever you'd like there. Okay, so that's up to you if you're researching and trying something else. All right, so I'm gonna take you guys to my oven and then show you guys what I'm doing over there. So I basically put the oven on. So this is just a couple inches of water in my pot. So yeah, I'm just basically waiting for this to come to a boil. And then I'm going to turn down the heat to a medium to low temperature just to simmer it. And then I'm going to put this inside and then all the ingredients. I think I'm going to put the beeswax in first. So these are just pellets. I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to add coconut oil next. Okay, so I put some beeswax and then I did some coconut oil, so once this starts boiling, I'm going to put this in, and that's going to melt all that stuff together, and I'm going to just stir it with a popsicle stick. You can do skewer, you can do whatever. I just want to do something that I can just throw away. So yes, I'm just going to use this kind of large popsicle stick for stirring the stuff around. Okay, so things are starting to boil. Okay, so I'm letting it boil a little bit more, and then I'm going to reduce the heat down to medium to low heat. So yeah, I think I'm going to just reduce it down now to a simmer. It's pretty much getting to a boil temperature. So I'm going to stick this guy in. I'm going to let that do its thing. If it's too hot to grab the handle, you might want to get something like this, especially because the steam might actually be really hot. I also have this little thing to put this on. It's like a silicone, good for absorbing the heat. I'm just going to let this kind of melt. So yeah, I'm going to add the powder once this is well incorporated. And then I'll add the essential oils once all that's incorporated. But I'm going to let it cool for 3 minutes before I actually add the essential oils. I need a little thing to put this on. Okay, it looks like it's pretty much done. So I'm going to add some ginger slowly. 2 teaspoons of this. It smells pretty good. It smells like ginger, if you guys like the smell of ginger. And then I'm going to add my cayenne pepper next. Just slowly add that too. All the powder stuff, just add fairly slowly and just do a little stir of each one. Okay, so it looks pretty good, I think. So I'm just going to take it out. I'm going to turn off the oven and then take this off the boiler. So then I'm going to add a 3-minute timer on my oven. Just let this cool for 3 minutes, and then I will incorporate the essential oils. I'm actually going to move this on over to where there's better lighting, and then I'll show you guys how to do the essential oil situation, okay? So the oven timer is about to go off. I'm just going to do a little new mix here. I just don't want things to settle in the bottom. Making sure that that's pretty good. So I have my eucalyptus oil right here. Make sure it's open. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's the oven timer. Okay, so left it for 3 minutes. So let's just do at least 20 to 30 drops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so maybe there's a little more than that, like 31 or something drops, but that's okay. Ooh, it smells like strong eucalyptus. So this might actually not just help your muscles out, but it also might clear your sinuses. I'm gonna open up one of these tins that I got and pour this in and try not to get everywhere because I didn't put something down, which I should have probably done. I should have put some here. I'm gonna actually get some wax paper real quick. You can get parchment paper or wax paper or something like that. And I'm gonna get another one too for some overflow, okay? And just pour it in. I'm gonna pour another one, I think. Here, I'm just gonna move these guys aside. It's a little hot, so just be careful when you're doing this stuff. I might actually be able to do 4. Luckily, I cleaned 4. This will be a good tester. So that'll be my tester one. So then, yeah, I'm just going to wash this guy out and let this set, let it set open. It will cool off a lot faster and a lot easier. It'll have too much condensation most likely. If you put the lid on, just make sure that the lid is off. You could strain things, but I don't think it's really necessary. There's a lot of sediment in the bottom here. So yeah, I'm just going to wash that out. Okay, so just let that cool and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Okay, I'm going to let it continue to cool. Even though it looks pretty solid at this point, it has a few patches that doesn't look as solid as I'd like, but it really didn't take long to let this cool at this stage. I mean, I probably could use it, but anyways, I also washed some of these things so that basically I don't get my own germs in here. So I can just scoop this up and then put this on my hands and wash this and then put this on whatever's in pain, I guess. So yeah, do that and rub that on the skin, whatever the affected area is that's sore. And then you could just wash your hands immediately afterwards, unless the actual soreness is on your hands. Then you can probably leave it on your hands for about 30 minutes before washing it off. So you can get some sort of relief there. Yeah, so hopefully this will work. I don't really know. I haven't tested it out yet, but I have these at the ready for when I do test this out. But I just wanted to show you guys what I made. So I made these while the lids are off. I figured I might as well just decorate this. So I made these little labels. And then I also have printed off a whole bunch of these. So I also have the labels that show the ingredients. Basically for me, I did beeswax, coconut oil, cayenne pepper, ginger powder, and eucalyptus essential oils. And then I put, you may want to do a patch test of Salve to see if you will react. If reaction occurs, you may want to consult a doctor. So standard stuff that I like to put on just in case, because you never know, somebody might be allergic to something here and maybe they don't even know, right? And some people have sensitive skin. So I'm just gonna, just to make the packaging look prettier, I'm just going to, these guys have all been washed, everything's good there. Just gonna put that right in the center. Just get the bubbles out a little bit. So I'm just gonna do that with all 4 of these guys, just so I know what's in here, and that helps. And it's also really good for when you're packaging this up, if you're going to, obviously if you're going to use it yourself or if you're going to gift it to somebody. Oops, there's a little bubble here. Just gonna get that, smooth that bubble out here. I did not mean to make a bubble happen. Just gonna keep on smoothing. Can I release the air a little bit in some way? Maybe I can take one of these guys and smooth it out a bit better. It's good enough. It's not that bad. I'll just try to be a little bit careful when I'm adding this a little bit more. There we go. I'll switch this with the tester one, and then I'm going to put, as I said, I think these guys are pretty solid now. I'm just going to put that on the bottom. So these are about 2-inch circles, so that should be good. So that's nice to have for whoever. It looks pretty professional. Okay, so that looks really good, I think. You know, I might actually be able to put the lid on all of these, so that's really good. Yeah, it really didn't take that long for these guys to solidify, to be honest. It's good to have a top that's twistable, in case the weather gets hot or something like that and things melt a little bit more. It's good to have something that's a twistable top so it's a little bit tight. Just good to have a tight top, I think, in general for something like this, to keep all that protected. So, I don't know how I'm going to show you guys this being used and me using this. I do have pains, but they're kind of out of reach, so maybe I'll just use this on the side, but I just wanted to show you guys how you could use it. Say I've got some soreness in my knuckles or whatever, I'll just show you guys that. But I'm going to test this on the side and I will let you know in this video if this works. Maybe my husband can also use it because he's got some soreness in certain areas on his body as well, so we can test it out and see how well this works. Yeah, it's all solidified now. The beeswax does a really great job at making this pretty solid. And then if you want to, oh, this is nice. If you want to, oh, I can really smell the eucalyptus too. Oh, I can actually feel it heating up. That's so fascinating, so interesting. And this feels really nice because of the coconut oil. I can really feel the coconut oil in this as well. But yeah, you might want to wash your hands right afterwards, as I said, unless it's in the area of your hand, and then you might want to leave it on for about 30 minutes or so. But it's quite nice. Yeah, my skin looks pretty shiny and moisturized from it. This is going to be the tester pot, so I will test it out on other areas of my body and maybe ask my husband to test it out a little bit too, and we can get back to you guys in this video to see if it works. Okay, but yeah, it feels really nice. It does feel like it heats up a little bit, which is kind of interesting. It's probably the cayenne. And yeah, there's that. I just want to state, if you're packaging this up and gifting this to somebody, you might want to put this in maybe a little bag and then tape it to the container, either on top, on the side, or on the bottom. It's just a nice little thing that if you have these for free and you got these with, say, some other containers and you just don't know what to do with them, you've got a ton like I do, just wash them up and then pop them in a tiny little bag and just pop them on the side. And that might be really nice to have in a little gift basket or gift box. But yeah, they turned out pretty cute and the packaging is really nice. I think it's very simple. You might be able to come up with a better name for yourself or balm, something that's a little bit more clever, maybe some more clever graphics as well, but I just kept mine fairly simple. Normally I'm pretty extra with my stuff, but yeah, I just decided to keep it simple for this because it's a little bit easier when you're putting it in a gift basket or gift box. Okay, so I flipped over my mat to a nicer side. Yeah, so that's pretty much the video. I just wanted to state a few things. So I tried the muscle salve out on my husband. I should have done a patch test because one thing that I don't know how I forgot this, but he does struggle a little bit with eczema or eczema, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I think it's eczema. A lot of people pronounce it, but anyways. So my husband did try it out. He tried it out on his neck because his neck gives him a lot of muscle pain. I actually wasn't really able to try it out on myself because I wasn't having specific muscle pains. I was having other pain, but not muscle pain specifically. So I didn't think that the salve was going to work, but I will probably let you know if I do use it at some point. I will let you know maybe above here and tell you if it worked for me in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, if you have skin issues like some sort of rashes are breaking out or eczema or some sort of skin condition, actually don't even use this if you have open wounds. It's not a good idea because I think the eucalyptus is probably not great to have that on broken flesh, right? So I would say steer clear of that sort of thing. But if you feel like your skin is okay, doesn't normally break out, you did a little patch test, I would say try this, because even though my husband does suffer from eczema and it seemed like it burned at one point because it sort of heats up, right? Because of the cayenne pepper powder. So it sort of warms up a little bit and then it gets a lot hotter. But he did say that it was actually quite nice and he did want to use it again. So I think that's a good sign. So yeah, so he did use it again on a different body part and tried that out. This was a really recent thing he's working right now. So I'll find out the results of that and I'll put that in here above and see what he says. But yeah, so, but other than that, I think this was a pretty successful project. I think that this is a really good project for a lot of people, not just athletes, not just older people who are experiencing pain. I'm sure young people experience pain as well. I think it's pretty much for almost anybody who has some sort of muscle pain happening sometimes. It's not going to cure things or solve things, but it will potentially relieve some pain. So you can try this out if you want to. I would say get a tester for yourself, and maybe before you gift it to somebody, make sure that, again, you do your research and you make sure that they don't have any skin conditions, and they could potentially even do a patch test on this with this stuff. But this might be a nice thing to gift somebody in a little care package. Obviously, you can always give a salve that already exists. I just like the fact that we can make the packaging our own and do whatever we want with that and make it a little bit more unique to the person. If you wanted to, you could always make it a little bit more custom. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys like this project and gives you some more ideas of things you can gift to somebody. I know sometimes guys are hard to gift for. This might be a really nice thing to gift to a guy, especially if he's an athlete or he's just very active in general, or maybe he just has sore muscles frequently. This is a really great thing to present to a guy, but you can also present this to a woman as well, obviously, when you want to give them a little self-care as well. So you can gift this literally any time of year. Mother's Day just happened, Father's Day is coming up, birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's Day, even just because present is always nice. Maybe somebody's not feeling well and you want to gift them a care package because it's a nice thing to do, just to put a smile on somebody's face and make them feel a little bit better and some sort of relief. But yeah, I really hope you guys like that. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and maybe share the video for those that you think might enjoy making a little project like this. I really hope that my returning subscribers are enjoying this segment that I'm doing. I know it's kind of a little bit of a departure from a lot of the crafts I've done in the past, but if you look at far back in some of my old videos, I used to do a lot of soap DIYs and salt scrubs and things like that. So I've done done beauty projects before in the past, and some fun ones too. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stop talking, and I hope everybody has an amazing and healthy, awesome day. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.